crazy dark entities that enter her bed again. And over the next 5 years, she becomes someone different, basically. And she develops what she calls spiritual warfare. And she starts to suddenly reject the Bible or think the Bible is the exact opposite. And this is where it gets interesting. Ooh. What she claimed to say was that Western cultures have depicted Jesus, the depiction of Jesus is all wrong. It's the fucking opposite. That the Bible is actually not based off of Yahushua, who is Jesus, which is also my nickname is Hushua, unrelated to Jesus, but kind of at the same time. But this little side tangent for you.
Yeah, Josh. When we're finished, I want to subscribe to your cult.
Oh. Wait.
Yeah.
Is this a cult?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I knew you were a narcissist. Okay, go on.
After Matt, it's only women allowed in. Only. All right, I'll eventually kick Matt out, so it's just me.
Yeah.
My wife will love that. So what she claimed, which is actually fucking fascinating. This is what I agree with Crazy Shriver. This is interesting. What she rejected, she says the Bible's the opposite. She thinks Jesus is actually the son of devil, or Sananda, the son of devil. And she believes that the whole thing's turned on its head. That actually the greatest trick the devil ever played, as Graham Hancock likes to say, is not that he... that he is actually Jesus. Sorry. It's not that he doesn't exist, that he is actually Jesus. So that I fucking butchered that. Say that for me, Matt, again. Like I totally lost my train of thought. Say it cleanly.
It's the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was to convince the world that he did not exist.
Right. So you take that a step further, and what she's saying is it's all a trick. Christianity is all a trick. It's actually get people to worship Satanism. She has lots of details about that.
That's a hot take.
Site. You can go deeper videos. I went under videos. I started clicking around. I could not watch one all the way through. It was poor production value. What are you going to do? But so
get a fucking light, girl.
Terrible. Lighting was off.
It wasn't even mixed. So anyway, so she in her dreams would fight these things. This is what she said. And she believed that God chose her to spread her message as far as she could. She became Advent, that she was like the leader of this new movement. So she started doing research into, I don't know, once you're into the Bible, you jump into the government, UFOs, and deep state operations. She started to develop this whole new understanding of the Bible and what it meant and all these different things, how it's connected. She claimed that she was King David's granddaughter. King David from the Bible. Like just like King David battled giants in the Bible, she battles the reptilians. Sherry Shriver,
granddaughter?
Got some big dick energy. No, it wasn't her granddaughter. I mean, King David's like ancient or possibly not even real. Yeah. She's just claiming to be like the distant granddaughter of King David. You know, come on, Matt, you knew that.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You're not going to survive in this cult, Matt, with that attitude.
Sorry. I'm gonna
He's out.
Yes, Lord.
Drink your Corona. All right. So what did she find? This is what she found in the Bible. In the text, she found an alien agenda in the Bible. And aliens aren't ET. This is, again, a place where I actually kind of agree with her, that she might be right. So they're not ET, but they're subterranean. And they're waiting for the end of days. That part maybe I'm not like so much into. But now, after this part, I don't agree with anything. She says,
listen,
demonic...
You can't pick and choose, all right?
Yeah, you can't pick and choose. You're either in or out. That's exactly it.
I'm out, man. I'm fucking out. I can't take this craziness. But this is what she said. She said demonic alien reptiles have been sent by Satan to take over the world. So she starts creating a radio show. She starts going on blogs. This is the early internet. By 2005, she's 40. She's got 12 websites, a blog. In 2009, she jumps on YouTube. She jumps up to 21,000 subscribers. She is a fucking movement. She has a lot of people behind her. I mean, 21,000 is not that crazy, but still, like, it's a lot for a cult.
She's the David Icke of cults.
Yeah.
Yes. So again, her whole thing is Christianity is tricking people and spreading Satanism instead. So she's railing against all that. Okay.
All right.
Now this is where, you realize how terrible of a human being she is and how misguided she is, even though she has 3 degrees and she's pretty smart. So she starts to go on to say these things, that if you're Jewish, if you're gay, if you're trans, you worship the devil. You all worship the devil. You're like probably reptilians hiding. She starts to say,
oh, wow.
Now she starts taking some David Jacobs stuff. Not David Jacobs. Maybe one of these people in our space, that reptiles can inhabit a host and live among us. That only Sherry can tell if someone is possessed. Only she has the ability to know if you're possessed by a reptilian.
Uh-huh.
She called this cool term actually called soul scalping. I thought that was pretty clever, where the reptilians are supposedly take your soul out of your body and inhabit your body and put your soul somewhere in. They call it walking in. I thought that was clever, but also horrifying.
Yeah, walk-ins.
She's stealing it from 8 other places. That's all this is. But she was early, man. This is like early internet. So like some of the shit might spawn from her. People might be taken from her. I don't know how old she is. I don't know. This stuff is really old, actually. So this is what she would do, though. She would make posts of shit online that, like, is so ridiculous. But she'd put, for some reason, she thought if you passed out, like, passing out, like, just while you're standing up or something, was a sign that you were possessed by a reptilian. So she would post, like, videos of people, like, celebrities and people on TV just passing out. Like, there's just, like, Wendy Williams just passed out on set one day. She was saying something. All of a sudden, she was like, oh, shit. And she, like, fell over to the side. And she's like, Wendy Williams, that's a fucking reptilian.
Oh, boy.
She was all over Justin Bieber, Madonna, the Pope, Taylor. Oh, she hates Taylor Swift, and she's pro Kanye and Kim Kardashian. Yeah, she sided with Kim and Kanye when they called her out as being like a vampire, something like that. She was like, "That's proof," because Kanye and Kim, they know what's up. So now it gets even better. She also hopes in that of Eisenhower supposedly meeting with gray aliens in the 40s and signing a contract so they could lightly do research on us and maybe butt probe us once in a while, but not go too crazy with it. So she uses that too, but she changed it into her own narrative about reptilians and possessing us and how we signed our soul away to the devil. But guess what? You were fine if you believed in her shit. If you believed in the Shelley Schreiber bullshit. She sold Orgon. I don't know what Orgon is. She called them Orgon monsters. Mm-hmm. And only Sherry could make the ones that keep you away from the reptilians. Only Sherry had that skill. So you had to buy from her, and of course they were like $750. They were more expensive than Melissa's staff. That shit was crazy.
That's pretty expensive.
It is. It's pretty expensive.
So she actually made a lot of money. She made a lot of money and a lot of crazy shit. Random thing, I just clicked into one of her videos for like 10 seconds just to see what was going on. It was super crazy. I clicked into another one. The second time I clicked in, it was a fucking Bigfoot reference. So I was all in for like 3 minutes. And she referenced that Bigfoot was just like seen with silver discs a lot, and that you shouldn't trust Bigfoot, and it's a part of the alien agenda. And I was like, I'm fucking out, Shelley. This is fucking bullshit. Fuck.
Her.
But oh my god, but you were in. You were in for like 3 minutes. You were in.
Now it's up.
I don't tell you.
It's on skis.
Anyways, so she amassed a big following. People started to go crazy, like any goddamn cult. Like one woman slowly got into it, just like we were talking about earlier. Her family goes away. She ends up taking off to go see her daughters from from another lifetime. She really lost it and ends up like taking a bunch of sleeping pills and kills herself. That's a small story. But let's come back to the beginning. So it's 2017 when this happened, and Shelley is 52. So Minio and Barbara, Steve and Barbara were a couple, and they slowly got into this cult over about 10 years. Steven, the guy who died, was one of her admins on her Truth Seeker website. But Sherry didn't like Barbara very much. A little jealousy or something going on there, and slowly began to pick her apart and started to say things to Steven about her, that something was up with her. And then this happened. Barbara just on Facebook innocently just posts her like, I love steak tartare, like raw meat. Raw steak tartare. She's like, I love it. It's great. Whatever. Random thing. But Shriner didn't like that. She was like, she told Steven that his girlfriend was a vampire, witch, reptilian super soldier, that only reptilians loved eating red meat and bragged about it, that they loved the taste of it because of the blood, and she definitely was one of the reptilians. So,
my god, this is such like I want to bang your boyfriend story. I can't.
Totally.
Okay, go on.
Because eating raw hamburger is a symbol that you are part of a vampire succubus society. Barbara is a witch. Yeah. So obviously Stevie Boy was like, okay, enough. He leaves the cult. He starts his own website, starts to expose her. But then Steven eventually, he was part of a cult. Like you hear about these people leaving cults. He feels that pull to them. He's getting harassed by the ex-cult members. The cult members. And he feels like shit. He wants to be a part of something bigger. And he's depressed. So one night they're out drinking at a bar. They come back home at 2 a.m. They're outside shooting guns. And then Steve breaks down in front of Barbara and basically asks Barbara to shoot him. This is what she claims. And he basically takes the gun and puts it to his head and makes her pull the trigger. That's what she claims.
Oh, my God.
I don't know. So that is a crazy story. The virtual reptilian cult. And that is all I got. I don't have any big thoughts at the end of this other than that just people need more purpose in their life. Because this is a famous quote I just want to end this with that I think is really true. I don't know who said it. I should look it up, but I'm too lazy and I won't do it right now. Is if you stand for nothing, you can fall for anything. There's a quote out there that is, I think, famous.
That is so true. And just to add to that, I think that that means you need to figure out what you stand for. It has nothing to do with anybody else's thought processes. I think that if you go back to this whole podcast, the idea of the cults and that America was funded on cults or created possibly on cults, and then that it's like an American way, that you should ponder all thought processes. You should think about all groups of people that think certain ways, but you have to stand for what you believe in. It has nothing to do with you being with a group of people and believing what they say. I mean, you're falling for just to be in a group. You're not actually standing for anything.
Question everything, people. Everything.
Question everything. Every person who tells you you can't do something because you have to believe what they say, well, now you're in a cult. You're in a cult.
Yeah.
Get out. All right. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we hope that you join us again because we are starting a cult.
Yeah.
It's
We're handing out
gluten-free beer.
pamphlets on street corners. Yep.
It's casual drinking and fun stories. I mean, besides that.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's really innocent until we have an agenda. Right now we don't.
But just chicks, though.
What?
That's it.
Wait, what about
Just
me?
chicks.
What about me? What about dudes?
And,
We'll slowly push you out of the...
And Chris Hemsworth.
and just Chris Hemsworth. That's it.
Yeah.
I
You
love
have
you
to share
guys
those.
too. All right, until next time, sign up for our cult on our website. Anyway, have a great night. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.